Okay. So as far as I know, you have a rough idea on what is MVC and how the MVC works, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yesterday we have gone through our MVC on a regular servlet based MVC, and we have seen how the model, view and control, all the three of them communicate. So in Spring MVC there is a little bit of changes. So what are those changes? We'll see that. Okay, just go to your Google and type Spring MVC. So once you type Spring MVC, you get a picture over here. Okay, this picture over here is basically the structure or the architecture for our MVC. What had we had before was we had only model, view and control, where our control will be hold our business logic, our model will hold our data, and our view will be holding our front end application. So, but when coming to the Spring, it has two types of controllers. What the two types are: front controller and the regular controller. Okay, the front controller is basically used to only take or give the request and response. Okay, so once you take the request, whatever the request has to do, you send it from front controller to the controller. Once you send it to the controller, that controller will handle that request. It will create a model for that, and then it will again send back that response with the model to the front controller. If it is necessary to go to the view, it will go, and then it will return. Okay, I hope you are understanding this Spring MVC model. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go back to our Eclipse and let's start working on our Spring MVC. So I've already opened my Eclipse. So for this, to get a proper structure, see, when you want to have a proper structure, my suggestion is not directly creating a complete Maven application. First, create a web application. So go to new, create a dynamic web project. Do that first. So let the project name be Spring MVC. Okay, so I'm using Apache Tomcat version 8.5. If you are using anything else also, it is okay. So 3.1 dynamic version. Go to next. That is my source. Good. And obviously I need a web.xml. So that is done. Okay, so it is telling the resource exists. So let me create a new file. Give me a file name, a project name. Come on,
Take
guys.
sample projects, sir.
Let's take sample. I think it is also already existing. Click on generate, click on finish. Yep, sample is not existing. So now if you see over here, we have a perfect structure for our web application. Okay, we have a web content, meta nf, web nf, build, resources, everything is there. So now this is a regular web application. Now we'll make it a Spring based by adding the Maven. So go to configure, just click on create, convert to Maven project. Everything will be the same. Just click on that. So when you click on that, what happens is you will get a pom.xml file. Okay. So now this will be a pom.xml file. So if you see here, we have the web content. Okay. Till now, I think you know how to convert a dynamic web project into a Maven project. So once you have created the Maven project, you need the dependencies. So put a hyphen, click on dependencies. Now we need to start creating some dependencies. So what all dependencies do you need is the first question. So we'll start going to Google Chrome and Maven dependency. You can directly go to this particular website. mavenrepository.com. So inside this mavenrepository.com, we obviously need Spring based dependencies. So first, Spring context, go here, click on this, copy it, paste it here. Next, go back to org.spring framework. After Spring context, I'll be needing my Spring core. So go there, copied, paste, go back again to org.spring framework. So Spring Web is needed because obviously this is a web-based application. Copy, paste. There are many things you will be needing, so one by one we'll take everything. So Spring is completely based on beans. We have seen that already. So Spring Beans. After Spring Bean, let me go to Spring Web MVC. So Web MVC. After that, so till now we have covered almost everything related to Spring. There are only two things. Since we are working on a web-based application, we need a servlet. So let's go to Servlet API, the latest version. Copy this, paste it. The scope is not needed, so I'll remove the scope for this. Then the next one I need is my JSP. So let's go to my JSP 2.3.3, copied, go to Eclipse and then done, remove my scope. Okay, so till now I hope everything is not anything more rocket science kind of a thing. So everything is there. Let me save it. It will take a few seconds to build it. So let the pom.xml download all the resources. If you see over here in the Java resources, libraries, Maven dependencies, you can see that all the dependencies have been downloaded over here. Okay, that is the beauty of our pom.xml. So till here, this is done. Now the next thing I need to do is configure the other things. So what are those other things? So here we have a web.xml. So inside this web.xml, this is where the complete program should be based. Okay, so let me delete this welcome things and all. I don't need any welcome things. So inside this web.xml, let me start creating a servlet first. So servlet. So inside this servlet will be having the servlet name. Servlet name can be anything. So I'll simply give it as sample servlet. And now the important thing is we need a servlet class. Okay. So the servlet class, let us say that I'm taking it from org. So not to get confused over here. Servlet class, go to Google, we need the request dispatcher servlet. Okay, so go to org.spring framework. I'm not sure this is the one, so let me check it out once. Spring framework web servlet, and I think this is the request dispatcher. So dispatcher. Okay. So yep. Okay. Yeah, I think almost that was the class which we should get going for this. So org.springframework.web.servlet and the class is dispatcher servlet. So we'll go back to here. Under servlet class, we are telling that this is a request dispatcher servlet. Spring framework dot web dot servlet dot dispatches servlet. Okay, till now I'm just telling that I'm creating a servlet and that servlet is a dispatcher servlet. So inside this there are something else also, the init parameter. Okay, inside this init parameter we'll be having our parameter name and parameter value. Okay, so we'll do that in a second. For now let me cancel this completely. Okay, so now something I want to know over here is, can someone tell me how do you basically run a MVC? Whatever you learned on your web application based knowledge on servlets or JSP, can you tell me how to run it? What is the structure of the MVC?
We need to create HTML page.
Okay. Then what should I do after creating the HTML page? Tell me
HTML page
please.
is to run the program, and we need to access the data from DAO and DTO.
DAO, DTO, okay, that is when you have a database. Okay,
Yeah.
so fine. So here you created a sample servlet, right? First of all, so for that sample servlet, you need to basically give some parameters. So let me do those parameters first. So we have a parameter name. Okay, the parameter name is basically a context. Oh, this was good in IntelliJ. It is to give everything. Now I need to type everything. So context, configuration, config, application or location. So basically I must give my web XML which where is the location for this configurations, what are all the configurations I need and where should I find that. So and the value will be the location. So I am telling you will find it in web inf and it will be, the name will be sample servlet hyphen give some, okay, let me give sample servlet and say XML. Okay, let me first format this. So if you see over here inside the webinf I am telling I should give a XML page where I will configure all the basic needs. So let me create a XML over here, create some other file, the file is XML. So go to XML, create an XML file, click on OK, and that XML file is sample servlet. So make sure whatever name you have given over here, the same name XML file is present over here. Okay, so now we are having the XML file, okay, for this sample servlet. So now what is the thing? Now I need to basically code my complete XML. Okay, so I'll remove this. Let's start coding our complete XML. So first of all, this is a Spring based project, so there should be some beans. So I'm having a bean. So inside this will be our complete XML file. So I need to configure this beam XML-ns. So what is this XML-ns? This will basically give me a link. Okay. So let me do a thing. Let me see if I can find this complete XML file somewhere online instead of typing everything. So you can even search for application context. So application context, yep, this is the file. So let me copy this and paste it over here. The advantage of using Spring is you will find everything in online itself. Okay, let me format it a bit. Now if you see over here, we have some things to add. One, this is basically not required, so I'll remove this. So after this I am telling the base package. So once I create, you'll be having a base package. So let the base package be only com itself. I don't want to add Monish also. So now basically what we are having is we are just giving the component scan. If you have seen this already, we used to give this with the help of annotations before. Okay, in case if you are not using a web.xml configuration, then you can basically use annotations, or else if you are using web.xml, so this is how you create your basic base package. Okay, I'm telling the base package is com. So let me create my base package. I hope, yeah, I'm not having created it yet. So let me create my base package. So com dot monish, here com will be my base package. So I am having my most regular package. So next is resolver, the view resolver. I need to create a view resolver. Means this is basically a Spring project, it's an MVC project, so we must have a model, view and control. So model, we already know that it is the data. Controller will create it with the help of our Java programs. So view, when it comes to view, we have to tell the program where should you search for these view files. Okay, so that is the thing, you need to tell it where do you give your view files. So for that, let me create a bean. I have a bean over here, and this bean will take a class. So control space, this will obviously take a class, and this class is org dot spring framework, and after spring framework it is web. Inside the web you will be having this servlet. The servlet will contain view. So inside the view you will have a class called as, internally this program is getting reviewed, so it is a internal resource view resolver. No need to worry, you will basically get this on online itself. There is nothing to worry about this. You will have this complete thing online itself. Okay, you will get it in online if you search properly. I just wanted to type it so that you will understand. So inside this you'll be having a property. So the name of the property is prefix. Okay, so the name is prefix, means the folder. The value is, we already know the value, it is web inf. So inside the web inf you will basically give all the content related to your view files. So you are having a property where you will be giving all its file, you will be saving all the files there, that is prefix. Now you must give this suffix. So what is suffix? Suffix means, simply speaking, it is the type of file. So I'm telling that it is a JSP file. So this is how basically you configure your XML. It's a view based XML. So in case if all these are not there, you will simply put an annotation over there. So when we are going with our Spring Boot, then we will be working on annotation based things also. So for now, this is like this. Till now, did you understand anything? I'm asking you people, are you people there? Sleeping?
No, sir.
No, if you're sleeping, that is okay. Okay, understood anything or didn't understand anything?
Understood, sir. But
Yeah, but I like the birds.
uh, being
Okay.
property is the input, sir.
See, property means this is basically the view folder. Means in our MVC we have our view, right?
Yeah.
In our view, basically when in the Java source we'll create our controller. So automatically our project knows that the controller is based on Java. So it will go for Java resources and it will search there. Okay. The
Okay, sir.
model is basically our data. So we will give the data, whether it may be in the form of a Java, whether it may be in the form of a database or whatever it is, we give the data. So model, it will basically take from the user or it will take from the database. But when it comes to view, the problem is the project doesn't know where to search for view files. So we are creating a folder and we are telling that in the WebINF you will find all the things related to view. So first thing is to the first property where it is prefix, we are giving the folder. Okay, and the next property where it is suffix, we are giving what kind of a type it is, means file type. Before we used to work only on HTML, but now we are working on JSP because in our JSP we can write both our HTML and Java tags, right?
Yes, sir.
So we are giving a suffix that in this file search only for .jsp, that will give you only your view type. So that is what we are configuring over here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so for now understand this much, you will later on you will understand, and all these things basically you will find it in the online itself.
Okay, sir.
Okay, there is no need to worry. If you simply go here, you have already seen the base package things, right? So if you go for some more things, yeah, if you see here we are setting the application context. This is basically Spring Boot. So if you search for Spring based, then you will get all these things online itself. Nothing to worry about all this. Okay, so let's come back over to our main program. So here now this is our pom.xml, all our dependencies, our web.xml. So where the configuration is there, we are just configuring our configuration over here, configuration file. So this is our configuration file where we are telling all the view things will be there. Now first things first, let me create a JSP. So we'll call this JSP has, what do you want me to call this? Let me call this as hello. Okay, this is my welcome page. So let me put welcome. So let me put on hello world. Let me save this. So I need to call my hello world program. For that, let me create a Java file. This will be my controller. So I'll put this as main controller. Okay, since we are having two types of controllers, as you are already seen, the front controller and the main controller. So this one will be your main controller. Okay, now you have your main controller. Got it? Till now, hope you understood everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now this is your main controller. Since we are telling that this is a controller, so I'll simply mark it as a controller first. Okay, this controller has been marked. So this @ controller will basically give you endpoints. Okay, this will basically give you the web endpoints, means the URL endpoints. www.google.com, that is the main website, slash whatever it comes, slash some xyz, whatever it comes, all those things will basically be your endpoints. Okay, fine. Okay, basically that will be your endpoints. Done. Now what happens is, inside this I'll start creating a normal method where this will take a string type, and I'll say this as home page. So this is my home page. Inside this I'm returning hello. Okay, so remember this will be your file name. So hello, this is the same hello. Okay, whenever you run the application, whenever you run this particular method, it will return hello. When it returns hello, you're directly going to this particular JSP. To map these two, we will have an other annotation, that will be our request mapping. This request mapping will take a value. That value will be the URL. Since it is my home page, I'm not giving anything, and then there is something else, our get method. Okay, so let us say that this is request mapping dot get. Yeah, I need to specify that this is a method. So method equal to request mapping dot get. So this is giving me an error. Okay, let me first do it like this. Now, yep, request method dot get. Okay, so I'm just mapping these things. Now I'm saying everything, saving everything. So till now I hope everything is clear. This is just a method where it is calling your home page, and that to this particular length. Okay, now let me run this once on the server. So I want to always run this on the server. Finish. Okay, it is giving me an error. The error is source sam. Okay, just a minute, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. So now you need to check what are those basic errors over here. So it is telling it is a 404 error, and the error is the sample. It is running on sample basically. Okay. So let me remove this. Run this again. So now if you see over here, it is basically giving me a very good error. It is telling me that it's a 404 error. So you need to solve this error right now. Go back. First check on what it is running. I'll remove this. Good. Now it is on synchronized, started basically. Okay. And here is my error in the console. No file, IO exception, inverted target, and the target is okay. So I'm on my main page. So okay, loop page suffix, and this is my web page. Sorry, I created the servlet, but I didn't map it. I forgot about mapping it. So let me map this first. Servlet mapping, servlet name. What is the servlet name we are given over here? Sample servlet. So after the sample servlet, I need to give a URL pattern. URL pattern. Data Eclipse. So the URL pattern is just the slash. Format these things. Save it. Let me just start the server. Server started. No errors. Refresh. Nope. Close this. Go to sample. Okay, wonderful. Servlet exception, init, can't find class, internal view resource. Okay, root cause is what? Class not found, internal resource view resolver. So let me go back to wherever that file is. Yep. So inside this it is telling me Spring, the spelling is wrong. Next, framework.web.servlet.view internal resource view solver. Okay, I hope this runs now. Good. Now you can see that it is working. So even you miss a letter, it will throw you a very good error. Nothing to worry about it. Okay, solve it with a little bit of patience. So now your complete MVC structure is working perfectly. Got it till now?
Yes, sir.
Let me go back to my hello.jsp, and after telling this hello, let me create something new over here. Please enter your name. So let me give a form first. So this is a form type and action. Let us say the action is display name. So inside this form, let me take an input. Nope. Oh, shit. Come on, brother. So let me take an input. The type is text. The name, let the name be first name so that we'll not get confused a lot. Okay, this will be our input. Okay, now let me take another input tag, a small submit button. This will be submit, and the name, obviously we have name, and this name be submit. Okay, let me format this a little and then run it. Okay, I need to close this as well as close this, save it, format it. Good. So any other changes need to be done?
Sir, that is value, not a name. Input type equal submit value equal.
Submit.
Input type equal submit name value కదా.
The value రావాలి అంటావా?
Yes, sir.
Let's search for two things. One, we already have a name also, and then we have value also. Okay, let's see on both the things. Then we'll see if there is any errors. We'll proceed according to that. Refresh. I'm getting my name, right? So let me enter a name, submit. It will give me an error. The reason why it is giving me an error is after submitting the query, it doesn't know where it should go. Okay, now let us create a method of where that should go. So here, let me create a public method where it will be returning me a string, and let the name be display name method, and this is returning me, let the file also be display name, or let me keep it as display. I want to make another small change also over here. I want to create another new folder, and I want to make it as view, and I want to put all these view files over here, and whatever changes I am making, I need to tell my system also that I am making the same changes. Instead of webinf, I'll put it as view, so that all my view files are in this. Okay, now let me go back. See that it is running without any errors. It is not a problem. Okay, only thing is when you change your view files to some other folder, just configure the location over here. Okay, so now here we are having my regular display file. Okay, so let me first give my request mapping. By default, the method is always get for request mapping. Okay, so there is no need to give it as a method request method dot get. So there is no need, and you can, in case if there is no need of giving a method like this, the first one will automatically be the value. So no need to give value is equal to, also you can directly give whatever you want. So here I am giving display name. Okay, so inside this I'm taking a string, and the name will be first name, which is equal to, so I need to have a request. We are working on our HTTP. So if you go over here, you can see that everything is HTTP. Okay, so you need to have an object over here to get details from the particular website. So that website is HTTP type. So HTTP servlet request, and I am having a request object. From this request object, I'll be getting some data. So that will be my get parameter. And remember, you need to give the same name value whatever you are given over here. Copy this, paste it. Done. Now you are basically having a first name parameter. So this is done. Now you need to set the values, set attribute, it will be your first name, inside the first name the object. After setting up the object, you are going to display. So I need to create a display.jsp file. Since that is not existing, let me go to JSP, create a display.jsp file. Inside this display.jsp file, let me say hello, and then I am using a JSP tag. So inside this tag, I can say request dot get attribute, and the attribute name is first name. Done. Save this also. Now your name, enter. Wonderful. You're getting the same error again. Anyone can tell me why? Because the file is actually loading. Refresh this again. Now you'll get the answer. Actually, when I saved all these things, my server was restarting. Now you got it?
Yes.
Yes,
Now
sir.
if you see over here, the URL is display name. Okay, the same display name which I gave here, and also in my hello.jsp. Remember, if you are giving a different file name over here, means the method name also, it is okay. Only thing you need to take care is the action, whatever action you are giving here, this and the URL what you are thinking of displaying, that should be same. Got it? Let me
Yes,
go
sir.
back to display.jsp and put a h1 tag over here, and let me put a h1 tag over here, format the things, save it, go back over here, refresh this. Good. Okay, so it doesn't matter what name you give, it will automatically give you the concerned details. Okay, got it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So that is how basically we run our MVC. So there is another thing to be done. I'll copy this, comment this, create another method over here. I'll simply say name. Okay, and in my hello.jsp also I'll change this to name, save this, and instead of display I will return my name. Okay, for that let me create a JSP file and let me say name. So I am having all the concerned files ready. I need to make some minor changes. Okay, what are these minor changes? The minor changes over here are, first we are creating a HTTP servlet request object. I am taking a variable for this again. After taking a variable for this, again I am setting it in the request object. This is basically a bit lengthy. Okay, so to make it more simple, there is an annotation over here that says request parameter. So what is the request parameter? It will take the whatever the request parameter means, whatever we are inputting over here, it will take it in the annotation itself, in the method itself, and it will even take the name, the object also. So whatever we have given over here, the same thing is basically doing over here. Okay, so since that is done, this is not required, and this should basically be inside parenthesis control shift O. All the necessary packages are imported, done, and it will also have a model. This is basically my data, right? So I am taking my model also, model, and it is having an object model. Let me import this model from my Spring framework. Done. Now since I'm having model, I can directly do any kind of operations on the model itself. So let me say model dot, so add attribute. There is a method called add attribute. This method is taking a string, so string whatever that is, and this is taking an object. We have already created an object for this, that is my first name. So let me say first name. Done. No errors. Save this. Go back to my name.jsp. Previously what did we do? We used the JSP tags, right? Instead of now, will not use any JSP tags. I'll directly put up this. Okay, now this is done. Let me format this. Once this is done, let me save it. Go back over here, name, submit. Let this refresh. Okay, go back over here. There's no errors. Go back over here. First name, it is returning name. Everything is good. Model, add attribute. Okay. Main controller, hello.jsp. The name is name itself. Fine. Let me stop the server. Restart it over here. Let's see if the same error proceeds. Say Monish, enter. You're getting the hello Monish. Now see here, this is coming from name. Okay, this is not coming from my display.jsp, it is coming from the name.jsp. The difference is in display.jsp I have given a h1 tag. In name.jsp there is no h1 tag. Got it? Yes, no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Understood
Yes.
how the model view control are manipulating the data?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me go back to the main controller over here and we'll optimize the code little more bit. So not only this, there is another class which is called as model and view. Okay, so let me create an object also for that, model and view. So this model and view I am replacing here also with model, and okay, first of all let me return this type should also be model and view type. Here I am basically returning the model view type. Done. Okay, so now over here let me call upon my model and view dot. Here there is an method called add object. Same thing, no changes. Only thing is this is faster when you compare with any other things, the model or whatever you call. So let this be first name. Done. Same thing, no changes. You rerun it, go back, run this, you will get the same thing. Got it? So there are three different ways of running this. One with the HTTP servlet, one with the request parameter and model. So when you're using the request parameter and model, that is basically the perfect Spring type. So make it more optimized, you directly use the model and view. So what happens is the everything whatever you want to give, everything is being given here itself. That is the small changes over here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So hoping everyone is clear till this point.
Clear, sir.
Yeah.
So understood till now whatever is happening?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So now let me create a date object. So you already know what is date. So I'll just import this date, create an object for this, click it new, a date. What a date. Okay. So now let me go to model and view. Let me add the object. So here the object will be date. Sorry. So remember this date constructor will automatically give you the current date. Okay, so nothing to worry about that. No need to say date dot now dot date dot get date. All these things are not basically required. Okay, so why am I doing this? Because you need to understand how the model and view is working. So in our next sessions, when we go to some complex data, you will understand these things properly. Okay, now let me go to name.jsp. Inside name.jsp, let me say today's date is, let me put a dollar and say date. Okay, save this, come back over here, refresh this. Okay, now you're getting the date also. Let me make a small change over here. Let me put a break br so that it will come in the next line. Let me put a break over here also. Control Shift F, things are automatically formatted. Save it, come over here, refresh this. Now you got your answers. So it is telling hello Monish, today's date. Got it till now? How you
Yes,
basically
sir.
run the things? So now till
Yes.
now everything is good, right? So this is the basic data. You're taking an input, you're printing it, you're printing the date and all. This is all nice. But what if you get a list? How do you print a list of people inside your name.jsp file? And you have to display it. So now how do you take a list of elements? So that is the point. So let me create a list. Okay. So this list is of type string, which is equal to new. So I don't want to do any operation over here. So I'll simply take a array list. Then Control Shift O, all the necessary packages, util.list, array list, everything is done. Only thing is I need to give a name. So this is my names. Now let's go to names dot add up. Let me add up some names. Copy this, paste, paste, paste. Okay, so Nitin is here, Rujita is here, Shambhavi is here. So we have 4 people over here. So now this particular list is added. So once the list is been added, we will create an object. Let us say add, not all objects. It will be add object names. Cancel this. Put it as names, comma names. Another thing to be noted is this thing can be anything. It may not be required to be the same thing. If I put teams over here also, it is okay. Okay, there is no problem with that. This thing can be anything. Only thing you need to do is the object should be the same thing. Okay, Okay, now basically I'm adding the object to the model and view. So let me go back over here. Now the question is, let me put up list of people are. So when I put a dollar and when I say teams, I gave team or teams. I gave teams, so let it be teams. Save this and run this. Now you are getting the list of people's names.
Yes, sir.
But the question over here is, I don't want to print it like this. I want to print it one after the other. Basically, if that is the case, when we have a list and I want to print every element in a list, we used to run our for loop. But the question over here is, how do you run a for each loop inside a .jsp file? So for that, you need to have some tags. So those tags are called as JSTL tags. Okay. So in our pom.xml, we have not added any JSTL tag dependency. So first, let us add those dependencies. So maven.repository, so JSTL. So inside this JSTL, just make sure that you are on JSTL API. Okay, all the rest of the things will basically not work. So copy this, paste it. You need another one also. We'll come back to that later. Save it. Okay, when you're saving it, make sure that your server is stopped. Good. Now after this, we'll go to our name.jsp. But the problem over here is only JSTL is not enough. Okay, you need to have a for each loop over here. So if you don't know where to find all these things and all, only thing you need to do is go here, search for Spring JSP for each. Okay, now you will get a lot of things. No need to worry about anything. Only thing you need to know is you must have the JSTL core library. In that you have a for each loop. Okay, so basically this is our so-called tag, and this is not your official website to search for this. So always my suggestion, go for the official websites. Okay, so before that, if you want to run your JSTL core, you must have a standard library, that is your taglibs standard. So for JSTL tags, you need to have this. So now let me go to my pom.xml, paste it, and then format it, save this, so that that particular dependency gets downloaded. It's downloaded, it's building, it's done. Now let me go back over here inside this. So let me go back to just, okay, and then let me copy this particular tag, paste it over here. Okay, now if you save this, you can see that there are no errors. Let me save this also. See that there are no errors. Now let me put up a line in between with this. Now what I want to do is I want to run this for loop. So put a tag, search for C colon for each. Okay, this will be your for each loop. Now inside this for each, first thing is what are the, you need to give a temporary variable. Let the temporary variable be name, and then you must give the items. What are the items that basically it should run the loop for? So the items are in teams. Got it? Now this is like our normal Java for loop. This will be our iterator. This will be our items in the for loop. Okay, so that one is this, nothing more than that. After that, only thing you need to do is your given name, so put a dollar, type name. Okay, format this, save this. All errors gone. Go back to over here, run this. Sorry, the server is not running. Server is started and it's running. Now refresh this. Now if you see over here, everything is coming, but it's not properly organized. Let me organize that for you. So let me put on a break statement. Break statement done. Let me put on a break statement over here also. Now go back, refresh. Good. I need to have a break statement on this line. Sorry. So let me put a break statement over here. Save this. Go back. Good. Break. Control Shift F. Properly formatted. Now you have everything proper. Only thing is I don't need this since I'm already printing it in a proper way. So I'll remove this, save it, rerun it. Now you have seen how to basically connect all the model view and controller parts, how to create different URLs, different pages. If you see over here, hello is my first ever page. So it is having this slash URL, then you have the slash display URL, then you have the slash name URL. So these are the three different things we just created right now. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is how basically we develop different pages in a website, and this is a completely dynamic website. Got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in the next session, what we will see is we will see how to basically work with Spring Forms. So Spring Form tags. So this is the official documentation for Spring Form tags. So if you see over here, there are a bunch of documentation over here. So there are different methods, error tags, hidden tags, text area tags. There are a lot of tags in our form. Okay, so how do you basically work with all these tags? So everything is in the form of view itself. In this view, how do we basically work on this tags is the next part. Okay, in this next part we will be seeing about all these tags. Not all, at least a few we will cover. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so how do you get the URL for this particular thing? You go to any other website, you will find the URL on the first line itself. Copy this, go to your particular a JSP file and you paste this. When you paste this, you will basically now can work on forms. So when you just say form, previously what you are seeing is only a JSP thing. So now what you are seeing will be a complete form. This is a JSTL tag, not a normal HTML form button. This is a JSTL form button. So inside this you have button, checkboxes, errors, almost there are a lot of things. So we'll see all about this in our next session. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good.